Okay. Hello, everybody. I need to try something right now, and I'm just for a little bit. See if you can hear this. Can you hear that? I hope so. Let me know in the chat. Oh, they need to hurry up. They too much in the beginning. I was trying to get it right to that one point, Into the. I wanted to. Okay, that's not going to work. Sorry. I wanted to go to. We're going to fly like an eagle because that's what we're doing this year. So first of all, if you're watching this, thank you for hopping on. This is Tuesday Night Live. Every Tuesday we have our success event, and it will start just through September. At that point, I'm going to reevaluate. What's important about this is a place for you to plug into for education, motivation, inspiration, fun, get to know your other sister consultants. And I know it's summertime, so a lot of people are on vacation, so they're not really on right now, but this is the place to be. And so I'm going to go through some recognition really quick, and then we're going to do the next summer series, which has to do about what you're thinking. It's about 20 minutes. So go put yourself into a closet, get some paper, get a cup of coffee or water, whatever, and just get into it. Like really start to soak in new thoughts, new perspectives. Our unit this year, so the theme is, if you didn't watch my live, or the video fizz that I sent out, is going to have the scripture as our base of Isaiah 40 verse 31. Those who hope or wait in the Lord will renew. And instead of those, I'm going to say, I'm going to change some of the words to be our unit. The more we talk it, the more we believe it. The more you dream and talk the dream, the more it comes to fruition. That's why we do affirmations. That's why we do goal posters. So we are ones who hope and wait in the Lord. We will be renewed. Now start over. Okay. Those who hope, wait in the Lord will renew their strength. We will lift our wings and mount up like eagles. We will run and not grow weary. We will walk and not be faint. So we're going to mount up like eagles. We're going to run and not be weary. We're weary. And we're going to walk and not faint. So come, fly like an eagle with me. Fly like an eagle with us. And fly like an eagle with him. And so the action to make this all happen, for our unit to be into the circle of excellence and Barcelona, Spain, and is that I want each of you to win. I want you to have your victories. It'll be yours, could be, and so we're going to do 100 individual things, like Brenda has her 100 thing, and she's going to share that on here later, not on here, on our Facebook group, but what you could have 100 contacts, and this all has to be now through October 27th. Then we'll come up with another 100. Okay. But October 27th, that's my mom's birthday. She will be 100 years old. Can you imagine? She still has her brain, still funny, still tells all these stories. Some of them are not quite right, but most of them are. And anyway, can you imagine 100 years old? And can remember what happened 100 years ago or when she was little. But anyway, so that's where you see KO's 100 knockouts. When she was young, they changed, their girlfriends all changed their names and added an O to the end. Her name's Catherine. You couldn't go Catherine O. I guess you could have, but they didn't. Somehow they came up with KO. And so KAYO. But if you're in a boxing ring, a KO, letter KO, stands for a knockout. Well, and knockout can be, she's a number 10. She was a knockout when she was young. And so that's why we come up with KO's 100 knockouts. So those who become a new consultant in our year, 100 of them, we're going to start putting their faces in the circle, and they are going to be our knockouts. They're going to get a special gift for being a part of that club. The recruiter is going to get a special gift for being in that club. So the other action, like I said, is your own 100 victories. So what is it? Is it faces? Is it parties? Is it interviews? Is it contacts? Is it sales tickets? Could be 100 sales tickets. You might do that before October 27th. Is it 100 items? That can be done pretty quickly. So you choose your victory. The thing is, you have to share it with me so that I'm not going to hold you accountable. I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to applaud you when you sold 5 items because you're going for 100. I'm going to be so excited. You have to track it. You've got to take a picture at the end so that I can put you into drawings. I'm going to do $100 cash drawings or $100 gift cards. So this is all going on for the whole year, but we have through October 27th for the first group. Our focus is 100 parties. I call them beauty adventures as a unit. So as soon as you have held something where you had at least 3 people in one sitting, whether it's in person, whether it's on Zoom, whether it's live Facebook, whether it's in one of our events, whether it's a posting party, it counts. You just have to tell me so that I can track. And you can see back here, this is for our 100 unit members. I have other tracking forms for all the other things, but your guests, and the only way I'm going to know is when you tell me. I will send you a Google form. You got to fill in who's at all these parties, who hosted. They should get their name into a drawing. So if they comment in your VIP group, I want to do weekly drawings and monthly drawings for those people, but I don't know if you don't tell me. So anyway, there's 100 career chats. When we do 100 career chats, we're going to give, and the goal is to do it all in 1 month, but right now we're just going to get it on a roll, right? We'll pull a drawing out, and a guest will receive $100 of product from me, and the consultant is going to receive $50 cash. Okay, so those are our action to make the eagles fly, and so that's what we're doing right now. We have some eagles in our weekly accomplishment sheets. When you turn them in, whether you put 0 in every square, I don't care, but you've got to fill out every square, and you got to submit that weekly accomplishment sheet to me, and it's worth $1. We track it at the end of the year. As long as you have only missed 12, then you will receive your money. And I think it's like $55. Doesn't sound like a lot, but hey, $55 as a gift at the end of the year for filling out a weekly accomplishment sheet. So far, week 1, Sue Ellen, Becky Cook, Vicki Jones all filled out their weekly accomplishment sheet. Week 2, Sue Ellen Baugh, Becky Cook, Vicki Jones, and Brenda Nelson. So congratulations. And Sue Ellen had over $450 week. So proud of you. And Brenda had over $350 week. So yay. So there you go. Don't forget, we still have the $100 days. So when you have a $100 day, you post it in the very first, what we have pinned. You'll see it on our Building One Area Facebook group. So there you go. That's it for now. Just to keep you up to date. I'm going to say it over and over, but we are going to fly like an eagle. And, eagles are the most wonderful. And there is a golden eagle, by the way, and everything's gold because of 60th we're going into the 60th anniversary. And so the theme from Mary Kay is all gold, like golden goals. I say that fast. But I think the bald eagle is stunning. But there is a golden eagle because the neck part really has gold feathers. And so, but what's cool about eagles, I mean, and I'm not going to go over all. We'll do that. Maybe you have some things you want to share. But an eagle's wings, and I've shared that already, but I'm going to say it again. The eagle's wings, pound for pound, is stronger than airplanes' wings. And so that's why they can fly higher. They can fly up to him who is God. And so God is our partner in this business. He is our partner in our life and in our family's life. And we have that ability to help people see the light. I'm sorry. I've just like somebody came in my house. Oh, maybe that's my husband. Anyway, so, oh, pound for pound. Okay, so you know that. And then the other thing is an eagle flies into the storm, and they can fly above the storm to him who guards us, who protects us. So you are the eagle. So with that being said, let's check out Summer Series. This is on self-talk and soundtracks in your head. And let me just share with you, I sure hope you can hear this. This is from Sarah Starkey. And she has been a consultant for 20 years full-time sales director for 18, driving free for 18 years. Highest club is $300,000 unit club. Highest monthly check was $8,000. She was an editor in corporate America before Mary Kay, and now loves living a life of freedom, being able to design her life the way she wants. Married to Jason for 19 years and counting, 2 kids, 17 and 13. Homeschooled family for last 10 years, and she is passionately pursuing her calling to bring light and life to those around her while glorifying God through her Mary Kay business. We said all that. I don't need to say that again, do I? Been in director's court one time, earned her 1 free car, 25-star quarters, clinical social worker. So let's just hear what she has to say. Uh-oh, I didn't share it. Hold on. I forgot I have to share it. Otherwise, you won't hear it. Bad Sally, bad Sally. Sorry. You guys are so patient with me. I love you. Uh-oh, where did it go? See, now it's gone. Dang it. Oh, here it is. Aha. We got it, Sally. Yay. Okay, here you go. Oh, it's 25 minutes, but get your paper and pen.
Hey everyone, my name is Sarah Starkey and I'm with my bestie,
Sarah Elizabeth Pilato.
Yay! And we are so excited to be coming to you today for our training for the Summer Success Series. I am an independent sales director. I live in Virginia, and Sarah Elizabeth is also a sales director who lives in Rochester, New York. And so we're really pumped that we can come together because we do pretty much everything together, right? And so we hold our meetings together. So we wanted to come together and do our training for y'all this year. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So for those of you that are new around here, maybe you weren't in Mary Kay this time last year, the Summer Success Series is one of my favorite things that we do. I love getting to be able to hear, right, from all of the other directors, and I love our consultants getting to be able to hear from all the other directors, and it's just one of the things that makes Mary Kay so great. Oh my goodness. So real quick, I've been at Mary Kay for almost 20 years. I've been a sales director for 18 years. Actually, this month is our anniversary month. I have 2 kids. My daughter is going to be 17 next month. My son just turned 13. We are a homeschool family. My husband works in the IT field. That's all I know and understand about that. And I love my life. I love what I do, and I can't imagine doing anything else ever. I did used to do other things. I was an editor and a writer in corporate America before Mary Kay found me. But I'll tell you a little bit about how I made that transition as we go through. So Sarah Elizabeth, tell everybody a little bit about you.
Yeah, hey. Okay, so I've got 3 kiddos, and we are a half homeschool family. I have a 16-year-old in high school, and then a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old, and then my hubby works from home as well. He's also in IT, so like Sarah, that's about all I can tell you about that. And yeah, I used to be a clinical social worker before I found Mary Kay 8 years ago, and the rest is history. Here I am. I'm never looking back. And yeah, all good stuff from here. So that's me in a nutshell.
Yay! It's so hard to like condense right? Like, oh my gosh, so much we want to say because we love what we do so much. Well, we are going to talk to y'all tonight or today, depending on when you're watching this, about soundtracks. The soundtracks that you have playing in your mind. So another word you could use is just your thoughts, right? Your mental thoughts that you may not be aware of that are constantly playing, some of them on loop, right, in your mind. And so we're going to talk to you about that today. We're actually basing a lot of what we're sharing off of John Acuff's most recent book called Soundtracks, you guys. Now we took the book cover off the jacket because it kept falling off, and we don't like book jackets. So anyway, we read this book together a couple months ago, and so if you go look at it, look for it. It's going to be a blue cover. I don't even know where my jacket is. I don't think I have it anymore. But it is called Soundtracks, and it's by a guy named John Acuff. If you don't know who John Acuff is, I am one of his biggest fans. He's funny, he's smart, and he has a lot of wisdom. And he's super fun to learn from. So this is definitely a book that we recommend. I have read it twice now, listened to it once on Audible, and then we read it together, did a little book club with it. And it was pretty life-changing both times I read it. And so I look forward to reading it again next year. I do that with a lot of his books, actually. So anyway, John Acuff is the author, and it's Jon. That's how you spell John. JonAcuff. And he's super great to follow on Instagram too, just in case you're on Instagram and you want to do that. Okay. So we're going to dive in and share just as quickly as we can. This is a pretty heavy topic with lots of different directions that we can go in. But we're going to share 5 key things with you about the soundtracks that you have in your mind. And so we're going to start with what exactly is a soundtrack. And you could actually use a different word for this, and it would mean the same thing. So like we said, just the mental thoughts, the mental dialogue that you have going on in your brain. But if you think about a movie, movies have soundtracks, right? And so those soundtracks go with that movie. And there's specific songs picked out for that movie. And if you don't know, you have specific thoughts, unless you're me, I really do have songs like on loop in my head all the time. But like, right, okay, so you have thoughts in your mind that you may not even be aware are constantly telling you things. Because maybe somebody said something to you 25 years ago and it's still playing on loop in your brain, right? Or maybe you thought something 10 years ago and you, through an experience or through something that you it's constantly on loop in your mind. So that's what we're going to talk today about, is what do you have happening on the inside, right? What does that mental dialogue sound like? And, you know, with this, we want to encourage you to take some time, become super intentional about identifying what your soundtracks are. Now, you don't need to go and try to identify all of them because I don't know, like I probably have 8 squillion, right? Like I have a million, right? Okay. So I decided like, okay, I can't identify all of them. So what's the loudest one right now? What's going through my mind the most, right? Because if you didn't know, what you focus on is what you get more of. And so whatever your dominant thoughts are, that's the direction that you're going with your life. Your dominant thoughts are going to come true. So think about over the last 24 hours, what has been your most dominant thought? Like, be honest with yourself. And there's a chance it's connected, or maybe it is a soundtrack that's either good for you or maybe it's broken. So take some time to identify soundtracks that you have going on. And I feel like we're talking about this. This is definitely an ongoing process because I think you identify some and you work on them, and then it's kind of like an onion. You peel back layers, right? So I've been working on soundtracks for 2 years because I read his book for the first time on Audible, maybe not quite 2 years, but anyway. And right, like, and so I keep discovering new ones. They're uncovered because some of them are buried so deep that you don't even know that they're there. So Sarah Elizabeth, tell us what are some ways that soundtracks can be good? Because there's 2 sides of the coin here, right?
Yeah,
so how can they serve you?
So they can absolutely serve you. You guys know when you put your favorite CD in and that music gets pumping, you are in a good mood, right? We all have that music, that song that puts you in a good place. It puts you in a good mood. It reminds you of a time when things were like awesome, okay, right? So they can absolutely pump you up, give you energy, motivate you, inspire you, right? 100%. So to have those good soundtracks playing in your head, like Sarah said, what you think about, you bring about. So it will build your belief. It will build your momentum. It will build your business. It will build everything up around you when you're listening to the right soundtrack. Right? I
love that you just used the word build. So your soundtracks can help you build something good. It can help you build something powerful. But if you have the wrong soundtracks playing, or you have damaging soundtracks playing, it can also build things in your life that aren't good.
Yes.
Right? Oh my goodness. So let's talk about this. How can soundtracks be, I'm sorry, did I just get you off?
I'm just cheering. I'm like, yes, right, exactly. It can be, yes.
I looked away from the screen and then I saw motion. I was like, oh no, she's still talking. Okay, so soundtracks can serve you really, really well, but they can also be a disservice. Like they can be hurtful. They can hold you back. They can be damaging, right? Oh my gosh. And so Sarah, listen, I want you to share. You were talking to me before we came on and started the recording of this, when we were kind of working through what we were going to share. What is one of the ways that soundtracks can be a disservice, especially if you're listening to a soundtrack from a previous season of your life that maybe doesn't match where you are right now?
Yeah, exactly. So it can be a great soundtrack. Like I can get in the car and put in my soundtrack from college and I'm like, woo, it's a great soundtrack, but it served me in college and I am in a different season now. It's not a bad soundtrack, but it's not serving me in this season. So is your soundtrack outdated? Has its purpose in your life run out for this season, right? So it might be great, it might be positive, it might be affirming, but it might not be applicable to you in your current season. So is the soundtrack that you're listening to reinforcing an old season? Is it bringing you to a place that's not fostering growth? Is it bringing you backwards into a place that you've already been that you don't need to be?
Yes. Oh my gosh, is your soundtrack telling you old stories? Old stories that no longer apply to you. Like, you gave a great example during our conversation. There's an affirmation out there that is a great affirmation. I can do hard things. Like, that is such a good affirmation. But it can be dangerous. That's just an example. Like there's a million really great, but if it's not your season, Sarah, tell us what you were telling me about that example. Just out of a million, that example of I can do hard things.
That's a great affirmation. And you hear it all the time. We're always like, we can do hard things. We can do hard things because it is true and it is affirming and it is like nothing's wrong with that, right?
Right.
But if you're in a season where things aren't hard, like if you're in a season of blessings and abundance and flow, if you keep telling yourself that, you're going to subconsciously keep hearing hard and you're going to all of a sudden think that you're constantly tackling hard things and that things are hard and that you're doing them, but they're hard. Okay, instead of I can do hard things, because girlfriend, it might not be a hard season. Not every season is going to be hard. Right. Give yourself some credit, right? Yep. So instead of applying that great affirmation that doesn't fit in your life right now, if you switch it to something like I am in alignment with my assignment, do you see the difference? Do you see the difference? It's the same thing, but it's responding to your current season. So that will foster growth. Whereas the other one, it's not a bad thing, but it's not going to foster growth for you.
Right. And it's great to have it in your tool belt, in your toolbox, right? To pull it out when you need it. But man, it just goes to show what we're constantly telling ourselves. We really do need to be mindful of it, because is it building something that's helpful in the season or in the moment that we're in? Or is it maybe putting up some roadblocks? Is it maybe holding us back? Is it making things harder than it needs to be? You know, one of the things John Acuff talks about in his book, and it might be in other books that he's read or written, I don't remember how much he talks about it in this one, but he talks about rules. And I'm an Enneagram 1, and so I love rules. I love rules. I love structure. I love knowing exactly step 1, step 2, step 3. And so I live my life by rules because they do bring me comfort, safety, and security. But if we're not careful, we could be living our life by rules that aren't necessarily true. Like he asked the question, either in the book, this book or a different one, who told you that? Right? And it really made me think, oh my gosh. And I discovered over time that I had set a lot of rules for myself that were not necessary. I had allowed other people to speak into my life and say things needed to be a certain way, or they did things a certain way. And so therefore I thought, well, I just need to do them that way as well. And it became a rule. And they weren't actually good for me. Like they weren't, nobody was trying to do me any harm or whatever. Right, okay. But maybe in your life, somebody has said that loud and passionate women can't be successful in business. That was absolutely something I heard, which is crazy. Okay. But now I understand that that's not a rule. Like they might think that way and that's okay, right? Okay. So there's rules that you might be following in your life. And I want to encourage you to get in there and stand up to them and look at them and say, who told me this. Because some of them might be broken soundtracks. Maybe they were a good rule for you in a previous season, but it's not a rule that you need to live by in this season. So,
yes. Oh,
challenge the rules. Okay. And one of the things that we can do, as we're going to wrap up, one of the things that you can do once you identify, okay, what are some of my soundtracks? You might have some really good ones, y'all. So don't discount those.
Right.
Recognize them. But if you have some broken soundtracks, which I think most of us do, what do you do? Right? And I think one of the things that we learn when it comes to things like positive thinking, we hear things about mental self-talk, the dialogue, right? We think to ourselves, we need to get rid of everything that's harmful. We need to get rid of all the negative self-talk. We need to get rid of the broken soundtracks. And in a perfect world, it would be great if we could just hit the delete button and it be gone forever, right? We could sweep it into the trash. It would be gone forever, right? Okay. But that's not real life, right? That's not really how our brains work. Our brains are so magnificent. So rather than trying to eliminate all broken soundtracks, because what happens is we can say, okay, I've gotten rid of it. And then one day when it comes back, we're like, oh, it's back. And then we feel like a failure. We feel like we didn't do it. You know what I mean? So it's this, that is not a battle that we need to win. Okay. So rather than trying to get rid of it, eliminate it completely, why don't we practice what John Acuff said, turn down the volume. Just turn down the volume. So if you're even a little bit like me, you probably have several different soundtracks going through your brain all the time. Maybe not, I don't know. But I think a lot of us feel like we have lots of different dialogues happening, lots of different songs playing, soundtracks playing, whatever. And so it's learning, okay, which ones do I need to turn down? So maybe this isn't the season where I can do hard things on full blast. Right. Maybe today that's something that I turn down. And I turn up, I am in a season of alignment with my assignment. You know, that's just an example. Maybe you're in a season where you need to turn up, I can do hard things. And you need to have that on full blast as a reminder that you absolutely 100% can do hard things. Greater is he who is in you than he who is in the world. We have already won. We walk in victory. So you can do hard things. And so what do I need to turn down? And what do I need to turn up? We can be intentional about recognizing what's not serving us and replacing it with a helpful truth that does serve us, help us build something great in the season that we're in. So I'm just going to say recognize and replace. Recognize the broken soundtrack, turn it down, and then what are you going to turn up? And that way, when somehow that broken soundtrack gets turned up again, you'll hear it be like, whoa, that's the broken soundtrack. What are you going to turn up in its place? Right? Okay. So, and that takes practice, y'all. Don't try to be perfect. It's not going to happen, right? So we're just going to do the best we can. And so the last thing we want to share real quick, oh my gosh, it's a long training, so we apologize. How to create new soundtracks. So if I'm going to turn down the broken ones, how do I figure out what it is I need to turn up? So Sarah Elizabeth, what's your car radio example?
So do you guys you get in the car, okay? I get in the car all the time and my husband has some like crazy radio station on, right? Do you get in the car and start driving and just let it permeate? Like, do you sit?
I don't want that. Sorry, guys.
With whatever's on just because it's easy and you're distracted and you're driving and you're turning your GPS on and it's just going to be in the background and you'll fix it later, but you're still hearing it. Like, are you that person?
Still on.
Right? It's still on. Or are you the person that just turns it off and you just, okay? Or do you change the station? Do you turn it up? Do you find what moves you? Like when you get in the car to go on a journey, okay? Like how do you set yourself up for a good journey, for a good adventure, for a good whatever, right? Do you set yourself up to listen to whatever is happening around you, to what someone else has set the scene, set the mood for you, right? And my husband's mood is not my mood. Let's be clear, okay? We are very different people, right? And if I just sat around and listened to his music, his soundtracks all day long, ladies, this would not be fun, okay? Like, I would not be a fun person. And so you have to be the DJ. Be the DJ of your own soundtracks, okay? Take control of the wheel, your car, your station. Switch it up or turn it off, okay? Yeah. Switch it up or turn it off. You are in control, right? Your car, you drive.
I love it. Oh my gosh, that's so good. So being intentional, like listen to what you want to listen to. Yeah. Not what you think you have to listen to, right? Or what somebody else said you should be listening to. Now, that doesn't mean don't take advice. That doesn't mean, okay, yeah, for sure. Okay. But like you are the one deciding what soundtracks you're going to play in your mind. And the last thing that we're going to share is a tip from Johnny Cup. And he talked about creating a symbol that represents the new soundtrack that you want to turn up. Chances are some of your broken soundtracks have been playing for a really long time. And over time, new ones are going to come up. They're going to be uncovered that have been a part of you probably maybe since you were a child, right? There's going to be things that are just playing on loop. Maybe they're turned down really low, but they're always on. And you can always hear, subconsciously you're hearing it. And so it takes work and effort to create a new soundtrack, right? That is going to take the place and kick the other ones to the curb eventually, right? Because the more positive stuff that you shove in your brain, there's not room for everything, right? So the negative stuff's gonna over time, it's gonna start to filter out. So anyway, he said, get yourself a symbol. And he gave great examples. Y'all read the book. It's so good. He gave great examples of some of the symbols that he used, and they could be anything at all, from a coin to a clothespin to whatever. Okay, well, I had a broken soundtrack that for, I don't even know for how many, like a long time, over 10 years, maybe 20 years, that I was always behind. I'm behind on my goals. I'm behind on my dream. I'm behind on my day. I'm behind on my list. And I found myself always, like I get anxious just even saying, I found myself in a perpetual state of trying to catch up. I'm always catching up. You guys, you know what that does to your heart and your brain and your body over a long period of time? I was always tired. I was always stressed. Okay, anyway, so y'all can imagine, right? So I bought on Amazon, there was a pack of 4 turtles. They each are holding a different sign. This one says, "Eat my dust." And so this little guy sits on my desk and reminds me, y'all know the story, like the tortoise and the hare, right? The tortoise wins the race because the hare is like all crazy and like whatever. And he was slow, but he was steady. He was consistent, and he finished when he was supposed to finish. And they wrote a book about him, and he's the moral of the story, and he's the hero, and we all know who he is, right? So I got really excited. Sorry, my dog's barking because my husband and my kids just got home. I sit him right over there, and I see him every day. And I'm reminded I am not behind. I'm showing up. I'm doing the work that God has given me today. I'm making a difference today. And I am exactly where God needs me to be. Okay. So this was my symbol. And like I said, I ordered them those 4. I have one in my bathroom, one by my bedside table, so that everywhere I look, where I am most of the time, I'm reminded I'm not behind. I don't have to rush. God has me right where I'm supposed to be today, right? So get yourself a symbol. All right, y'all. So, gosh, that's a lot of information that we just crammed into 20 minutes. So we are really over our time. But we were also asked to make sure that we shared a really quick story of overcoming in our business. So if y'all can hang out with us, we're going to take a minute and 30 seconds each, and we're going to tell you a really quick just how we overcame something in our business. So Sarah Elizabeth, go ahead.
Okay, so real quick, you guys, I had a dream of being a director, and I went into DIQ. And when I went into DIQ, I had a great, it wasn't a great month. I had a month, and I fell out of DIQ. So I resubmitted for a second round, and I had another month, and I fell out. I resubmitted again for a third time, and I had a month, and I fell out. And at that point, I had to sort of figure out what was going on. And the soundtrack that was playing wasn't that I couldn't do it. I knew that I could do it. I didn't believe that I could do it. I knew that I could do it. I didn't believe that I could do it. Everything in my being told me that I had everything that I needed to do what I needed to do, but I didn't believe I could do it. I didn't believe that I was a finisher because I hadn't finished 3 times. 3 times my brain didn't finish. And so each time I went into the next month thinking, I'm not going to finish again, until I learned that I was a finisher. The 4th time I changed my mind. The 4th time I said, I am a finisher and I believe that I can do this. And that is when everything changed. And as Sarah said, have something, right? John Acuff says, have a symbol. And way back when Sarah and I just began our friendship, she asked me to run a virtual 5K. And at my desk, I have this. I have saved this because this right here was the first thing that I actually finished. I did this race. And when I turned my number over and saw that it said I was a finisher, I said, you know what? I am. And I keep this at my desk just to remind me that I am a finisher, to believe that I'm a finisher. I've done it once and I can do it again. And so when you believe that you can do it, you will do it. And then you will remind yourself that you've done it once and you can do it again.
Oh my gosh. That was so amazing. We're going to end on that note because there is no better way to finish this training. And if there's a prize for the longest training, we're going to win it. So thank y'all so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free. You can send us an email. You can send us a message. Send it to your director and she can reach out and get it to us or whatever. But again, the book that we are highly recommending is Soundtracks by John Acuff. Get it. You won't be disappointed. It's great on Audible as well. He's hysterical and he's great at reading out loud. So anyway, you guys have an amazing rest of your evening. Have a great summer and we can't wait to celebrate with you at the top. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Hello, everybody. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. I just ordered the book, even though I have his other book, which, you know what? I don't know that I finished it, which is called Finisher. Then that terrible. But we are eagles and we are strong and we are courageous and we are headed up above the storms. And so I'm here for you to encourage, to coach, to let you have a pity party if you need to for a little bit, but then we're going to move on right to the next victory, the next win. And your win is going to be different than somebody else's. We are going to be in our, each of us are going to be in our own lane. And so I hope that you will be a part of this. I hope you'll be a part of the KO's 100 knockouts. By the way, the C behind it is a Roman numeral number for 100, just in case you wondered what the heck is the C for. But anyway, so how can you contribute? And like I said, it could be through prayers. It could be, but getting in the game for yourself will build confidence. I hope that this training tonight helped you, and put in some feedback, put in comments, questions, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.